All right, this is part one of the magazine cover project. So we're looking at the requirements, and the first requirement is that you make a Photoshop document that is 8 inches by 10.5 inches. You should have also already taken your own photograph. It could be of you or of someone else, and it's a picture that you've taken. But it should be one that was done in class, preferably using the aperture priority mode as practice. So let's start with these first three requirements: the Photoshop document, the photo, and the new background. So we're going to come over here to Photoshop, and we are going to go to File, New. This is where we're going to create that 8 by 10.5 document. So you're going to come over here. We're going to name it Magazine Cover. Could be preferably with your last name attached. And then we're going to make sure this is in inches. The width says 8. The height says 10.5. And our resolution is at 300 pixels. This 300 is the default pixel per inch that you want when printing. So after this is all set up, we're going to hit Create. We are going to work primarily in this document, and the reason we are working primarily in this document is so that we always know we're on the right size, the right format for printing on magazine gloss paper. So let's File, Save As. We're going to make sure we save it as a Photoshop document, and we're going to put it into our Google Drive, My Drive, and we're going to put it into your photography folder. So I'll just throw it in here for today. Now the next step is to mask your image, but we're going to put the image into this document we just created so that we know it's going to be the right size before masking it. So File, Place Embedded, which puts the image directly into the document you're already working in. If you were to go File, Open, it would open in a new tab. So now I just downloaded one from my other drive from my wedding, so I'm going to place that in. And then I'm going to hold down Shift on the corners until it takes up the majority of the page, because magazine cover images aren't small, right? They take up the majority of the cover. I hit Return on my keyboard to place the image, and now you see that it's cleaned itself up and it's ready to go. Now, to layer mask, we're going to use a selection tool. I'm going to pick my favorite, the Polygon Lasso tool. And we're going to quickly and roughly go around our subject. It's best if you zoom in, Command plus, right? Command minus to zoom out. And we are going to go around the outside of our subject. When you hit a space like here, you go below the document and then you come back up. Remember, it doesn't have to be a very clean edge. And to move up, I'm just pushing the cursor to the edge to move up while I'm zoomed in. Go around his big ear. And I'm going to give him kind of a haircut here. He's got some frizzies that I don't want to necessarily deal with right now. Constantly going around. Go around this veil. Give myself a haircut here with all the frizzies. And you can get the point. So we're just going around the whole image. So we get down here, come over, and make sure you end it so that you get these little dancing ants around it. At that point, we are going to click the Add Layer Mask tool. So that's down here at the bottom, and that is a box with a circle through it. It's sitting right here. And as you can see, now our background is white because we have a white background layer. I'm going to hide that so that I can see just the grid, and I can go through and more accurately clean that up. To clean that up, you're going to zoom in, and you're going to make sure you're on this layer mask, the black and white thumbnail image attached to your image. From here, everywhere you paint black will hide the image. Everywhere you paint white will reveal back the image. And you want to make sure you start off with a brush of a hardness of 100%, because that's going to help tremendously. So using X on my keyboard to switch between black and white, you notice over here, X white, X black, I can go through and clean up my husband and myself. And for this project, feel free to give a haircut. There are ways to kind of refine the edge of the hair. It doesn't work too well with busy backgrounds. There are ways to do it. And that is something we are going to learn more thoroughly in Photo 2. So go around and clean up this edge the best you can. A nice clean edge is going to highly boost up your grade. Leaving the edge very messy will actually result in a grade deduction. Alright, so I've gone ahead and kind of jump cut to my image fully cleaned up. And now we want to, for the last part of today, add the background. So we are going to go to Google Images. And we're going to find like a fun background for your image. For me, let's do the Rocky Mountains, because if I could, I would have gotten married there. And now I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to go up here to Tools. I'm going to make sure that I do size large and labeled for non-commercial reuse as our usage rights. Remember, we don't want to break any copyright, and we're going to appeal to Creative Commons. So now I have some images. Oh, it'd be kind of funny to have goats in my background. We have wildflowers. Oh, so many fun things. I think I'll go back up to this one with the wildflowers. And now I want to Control click, and it's either going to be View Image or Open Image in New Tab. View Image if you're on Safari, Open Image in New Tab if you're on Chrome. So here's the picture. I'm going to click and drag that to my desktop. Make sure it went there real quick. There we go. And now I'm going to bring it into Photoshop. Now you could do it two ways. You could do File, Place Embedded, like we did to bring in our image, or you can drag it on top. So I'm going to drag it on top, and I'm going to hold down Shift and pull on the corners. And you're going to pull it way past your image. It's going to look a little pixelated for now, but that's okay. What you don't want to do is squish the image in. So I'm going to hit Return on my keyboard, and there it's fixed itself. And now I'm going to drag my background layer underneath my model layer. And there you go. So now it's me and my husband in the Rocky Mountains. And this concludes part 1 and day 1 of the lesson. Tomorrow, or if you move straight to part 2, we will be adding the text, looking at different layer effects that you can add to the text, as well as inserting small images and the barcode that you find on the front of magazines when you're at checkout, let's say at Target or Cub. Also, don't forget, file, save your progress. Always, always save your progress.